Hello, welcome to our next day of learning, Sefer Chavetz Chaim. Today we are on day 17. Now, I just want to clarify, because I get some feedback from the videos, which I love, and I recently was asked, what about, how could, you're sending out these videos about not speaking Lashon Hara, but what about in a case when somebody's a crook and somebody should definitely not go into business with them? Or someone's a horrible person and someone calls you to find out about a shidduch if she should date him. So we are going to get into a lot of the laws of Lashon Hara. We're still in the beginning because we're still just trying to show the severity of Lashon Hara and how many sins we violate when we speak Lashon Hara. But there are definitely times when Lashon Hara is not considered Lashon Hara. It's considered toeles, for a purpose. When you need to warn somebody who's about to go into business with a crook, or someone's about to date someone that has they're a drug addict and they should know about it before they go out with them. So there are certain scenarios that we are going to get to, but right now we're talking about just the frivolous, everyday Lashon Hara, just gossiping about one another in a way that has no purpose, except that this is just how we're used to talking. So today we're going to talk about a chapter. It's called Remembrance and Love. And the Chavetz Chaim brings up a really good point. He says, usually if you want to tell someone how severe Lashon Hara is, you want to give the most extreme example, right? You would say about how a marriage was broken up because of Lashon Hara, a friendship, a business partner. He says, what does the Torah do? The Torah does exactly the opposite. When the Torah brings an example of Lashon Hara in the Torah, they bring the most minute, tiny example. They talk about, where in the Torah does it talk about Lashon Hara? It tells us about Miriam, how she spoke about her brother. She didn't say anything so earth-shattering. She only said it to her brother Aaron. She didn't say it to Moshe. She didn't embarrass Moshe. It wasn't in public, and it did not cause Moshe any serious damage or harm in the scheme of his life. Yet that is the example that the Torah gives when it's telling us about how serious Lashon Hara is. And I think that what the Torah is trying to say is that Lashon Hara doesn't need to be earth-shattering in order for it to be considered evil. It doesn't mean that you said something that destroys somebody's life, but it's just the fact that we're talking about one another, again, when there's not a real purpose, but in a frivolous manner, that it's just considered so low class in the eyes of the Torah. The Chavetz Chaim further says that we know, and we're in the time right now, we're in the time period of Sephira HaOmer, where we mourn the death of Rabbi Akiva's students, 24,000 students. And what was their sin? That they did not treat each other properly. And Rabbi Akiva is the one who taught V'ahavta l'recha kamocha, that you must love one another and treat one another the way you would treat yourself. Now we know if you're speaking Lashon Hara about someone, you're definitely not keeping that commandment. Why? Because you're certainly not loving someone if you're insulting them and spreading gossip about them for no reason or purpose. And you're certainly not loving them like you love yourself, because we know that when there's something bad about ourselves, we don't want anyone to know about it. And if we don't want people to speak about it, we don't want it to be publicized bad about ourselves. Yet when we're speaking badly about others, we're doing exactly what we would not want to be done for ourselves. So the Chavetz Chaim really brings out a point here that Lashon Hara is not just about, the most extreme forms of, what could happen. It's just merely, we should not be in this habit of just sitting and talking about one another for no purpose, of just saying things about one another. Oh, do you see how bald he got? He used to be such a good-looking guy. Oh, did you see, how much weight she gained? I'm so surprised. I always thought that, that her family was very into being fit. These frivolous things that we say that have no purpose in life other than to bring someone else down. Possibly we do it to bring ourselves up and make ourselves feel good, but hopefully we can have enough self-esteem that we don't need to do that to others, just like we wouldn't want that to be done for ourselves. So let's continue to work on loving each other and being good to one another. And hopefully in that merit, we can see wonderful things in the road ahead. Have a great day.